So we've just come across a predator scat. We're gonna be taking it for some research purposes. This type of eDNA sampling can tell us a lot about, first of all, if it's a feral or a native predator, and what that predator's been eating, so its diet, and that just gives us a better understanding of if it's been attacking the natives, or a better understanding of what it's been eating. The first part of the process is we'll mark down the waypoint. Hayley will record it on the envelope. We'll collect the sample and send it off to a lab and see what this predator's been eating, pretty much. With the GPS, once we come to a location that we know we're going to be doing a survey in, everyone has a little bit of a different preference, but I like to switch on GPS from the start. Once it uploads to the satellites, it shows up where you are. You can use it to track where you're going through the bush. Some of the GPSs are getting real simple to use. With this one, you just turn it on, go across onto the map, and then once you're there, you can just start pressing mark for each sample you're going to take, and it'll give you all the details you need to put onto your envelope. So as I was saying before, we just record the location we're taking the sample. This is Boyatup sample number 1. We record the date, the waypoint number, and the coordinates, which all should match up to your GPS. These are nitrile gloves that we use. It's just mainly to avoid contamination, because obviously we want, the pure essence of the guna. So we don't want any contamination from, us guys or anyone else. Just want to know what's inside of it. This one it's a little bit old, but it's not too old. We've spoken with some scat scientists before, and they've said they can get a little bit older and they're still pretty good. You can usually tell if they've been sitting there for too long that you'd leave that one, because they're just degraded, and usually the predator scats will turn to white. So if the scats are too old, they'll start to degrade, and if they've been hit by rain a few times, they'll start to, the DNA will release itself from the scat and won't be viable anymore. Once it's been marked and the waypoint's been saved, your envelope's marked, everything's ready to go, you just use this little tool, or you can use, if you don't have this, just a stick will do fine. And what you do is you open up the tab end of that and you put that down, and you just pretty much just want to take as much as you can. Get all the little bits, each bit helps. You put it down to the bottom, and obviously don't lick it, but yeah, you just close it up, and we'll pack these away with the rest of them, and we send it off to a lab over in Melbourne. They have it's like pretty much a library of the scats that we've collected in the past and what they're picking up in those scats. So yeah, just gives you a bit better of understanding. It informs other people that are doing research out in these parts as well, just to help their research and just to inform and help the way they do it, make it a little bit easier so they can focus on certain parts of it. A lot of the threatened species are hugely culturally important anyway. Any of the native species are in this country. So any work that we can do to help manage the ferals in this area is always beneficial. Across our little patch in Esperance, we've got 4 pretty large areas that we've been collecting samples in the past, but some of the spots are pretty remote, pretty hard to get to, take a lot of planning. Roughly 3 months we like to get out there, and the more area we cover, we can find out from these scats if there's a dense population of ferals in certain areas and then there's less populated in another area, and if they're impacting the native wildlife. What we've learnt recently is that the majority of the scats we find are along fire breaks, because the predators will use them as easy pathways to find the animals they want to hunt. So yeah, there's a fairly highly concentrated number of scats along these fire breaks, and these even some kangaroo tracks that are being pushed into water sources, you tend to find a lot of scat. Once we get those results back, our GIS specialist, she uploads it all onto we have an interactive map back at the office where we can click on certain points to see where we've gathered the scat, what the scat was, and what was in that scat, what DNA they found, and which is a really cool tool that we have. Collecting the scats just gives us a better understanding of the diet and activity of the ferals, which value adds and adds another layer to our threatened species recovery programs.